Secondly, and this is the first time to be mentioned, first ever, Mark. When 1706 was passed in the Security Council, that decision was about deploying international forces in Sudan. First, it was in Sudan. Then, after some discussion between the members of the Security Council, it was changed into Darfur. But the mandate of this force was all around Sudan. And strangely enough, including human rights, including whatever, every child can go to that force and sue the government or sue everybody in the country that he is abusing this or doing that crime or whatever. Sudan, as was respected, directly refused that force, and the African forces were pressured to move from the country. You remember that time, the African Union sent African forces to Sudan, to Darfur, but they were deprived of any support, no money, nothing was given to them. So they were compelled to decide to move from the country, to leave the country in a chaos, in Darfur in a chaos, and to leave the country vulnerable for any decision from the United Nations Security Council. And at that time, 1706 was passed and Sudan rejected. What was the solution? The solution came from this very humble man. He will not, I think, expect me to say this, but the solution came from him. We have been talking together. We have been meeting so many times. You remember, Mark, one day he came here. He said, I have an idea. It can give you a solution. What kind of idea? The idea is to make forces from the Africans and the leadership and technicals from any other part of the world. I said, this is a good idea. Brother Muhammad Yunus will now remember why Sudan insisted that the nature of the forces in Darfur should be African. And till now it is a challenge, and every year it was renewed in the Security Council. The same verse will be there in the renewal, that the nature of the forces is African, techniques and others, leaders, maybe from Europe, America, and other parts of the world. This idea came from this very humble man, and I said, how can we do it? He said, I have a relationship with Ban Ki-moon. Where shall we meet him? We met him in Vienna, in a place where there was no security with him, no secretary with him. And from there, he said, don't say any word, I will go and I will let others buy it. So they bought it, the government of Sudan bought it also, everybody bought it. Thank you very much.